Welcome to Nifty Notions with Sew Very Easy. My name is Laura, and today I'd like to share with you a notion that I thought I would probably never really use. And then once I started using it, I realized I really don't want to live without it. The notion that I'm talking about is this domed, threaded needle case. And yes, this is going to keep your threads already threaded on the needle and ready to use. And it's really simple to use. It's this little dome shape, and it opens up and has a spot for 10 needles. So right now I have 10 needles that I am using for my English paper piecing. So they're very, very fine needles, and the thread is also very fine. When it's all loaded, I'm able just to grab that needle and pull out that whole length of thread so it's ready now for me to go. Let me take out those 10 needles and I'm going to show you how easy this is to work. So I'm going to start with 10 needles that are threaded. And when you do thread them, do not put the knots on the end. We have 10 little slots that we're going to be able to put that needle inside. And each one of those needle slots is numbered 1 to 10. Now I like to load it going from 10 to 1, and then I take the threads out from 1 to 10. But you can do it in reverse. And if you're using this very, very fine thread, you can really just take the needles out anywhere because that thread is fine. But I am getting into the habit of loading it from 10 to 1, that's just giving me a low risk of tangling. So I have a little number right here on the side of 10, and I'm going to put that needle in. When we look at the side, we are going to find an area that has a little slot in it. So I'm going to be able to take that top dome and just move it until my thread lines up with that slot. And the thread's going to just come out. I just lay that thread to the back and I put my finger right here where that little slot is. So I'm giving this a little bit of tension. And then very simply just take your finger and wind. And as I wind, that thread is going through my finger, through that slot, and inside. So all the thread is gone, it's inside. So that was number 10. Now I'm going into 9. Put your little needle into that little area, and you can feel there feels like a little bit of a pin cushion inside. And rotate, and I can feel that thread going under my finger. If I have my needles all ready to go, my grandchildren love to load this for me. I have them line up and put the needle into that area, put the thread into that slot, and then just put it down on a piece of fabric. And that piece of fabric is going to keep that thread sort of with a little bit of a tension and will be easy for them. And then just spin it around. This just gives that little bit of a tension that I like. So I load all of this up. When I am finished with that needle and there's no more thread in it, I put it right back into one of those areas. This is especially handy if you are traveling or you are sewing on the couch. And that way you make sure you don't lose a needle. And to take them out, it's really easy. We're just going to, well, take it out. If your thread is a little bit thick, you might only be able to use every other number. We would go to 1, skip the 2, go to 3, and so on. Now let's say we have a tangled thread, which I haven't had that happen yet. We can take this apart. So we're going to turn this center piece 90 degrees, and there is an arrow so we know what direction to go to. And a coin just works fine. So we just turn that and it comes apart. So you can see this is the area here where that thread is going to get wound on. So if you use a thick thread, it's going to take up more space versus a thin thread. And to put it together, it's very simple. Just match that up, push it down, and just redo that up. And once that's set up, we're set to go. That little dome just fits right over top. It keeps my 10 needles all in perfect shape without being banged, bent, lost, and they're threaded for me to go. I think this would be a great little notion to travel with. Even if you don't plan on doing any hand stitching, you could load this with all different colors. Or I could put it with all the colors of the clothing that I'm wearing as I'm traveling. Just put a standard needle in and wind. You can see where that thread just goes right in to that center. So this little domed needle case is perfect for me. I'm able to have 10 needles threaded and ready to go. This is great, especially when I'm traveling. Sometimes the lighting is not good to thread those eyes, or if I'm in a car, it's a little too bumpy to thread those needles. Just a little notion that I find has been one of those ones I really am enjoying to use. I'll put some links in the description so that you can check it out. And as always, thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and I do have a newsletter. It's all free under Sew Very Easy. And be sure to make every day a Sewtacular day. Bye for now.